Welcome back. Well, as I mentioned, we have Shawn Nelson here, who is a candidate for the Orange County Superior Court Judge. Well, welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. You're welcome. And we're glad you could make it in. I know you have a very busy schedule. And so we'll just get right to it. Of course, you want the residents to know who you are. I don't know if they've ever met you before. So just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, they probably haven't unless they relocated from the north part of the county. I grew up in the north part of the county, and I live in Fullerton to this day. Went to local schools, graduated from USC and Western State Law School, and raised my family in Fullerton where I grew up. Had the privilege of being on the city council there for the 2000s, was the mayor a few times. And then in 2010, I left my law firm that I ran and ran for the Board of Supervisors. So
Gotcha.
I served the 2010s on the Orange County Board of Supervisors. Obviously, Pat Bates was from this district, and then Lisa Bartlett. I was the guy from the north end of the county.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. So you've been involved in our government for quite some time. What are some things that you've seen that's changed over the years?
Well, definitely, the Orange County way of life, I think, is a real thing. There's a reason people live here, and the contrast is getting more stark. The county immediately to our north has a lot of policies, I think, politically that drive a lot of crime and homelessness and other things that are real big triggers that Orange County's done a much better job, in my opinion, of managing, and hopefully, the bench has a role in that as well, and I hope to just sort of transition out of the dust-up, which is the political scene, which I've certainly had an opportunity to be a part of, but really go play referee and use my sort of talents and other skills to focus on that.
Well, I think one of the things that is a little frightening, and we see it on the TV every day, is they talk about defunding police, or they don't have particular things in place to protect our society, and they let criminals out. So, I mean, that's one of the things that we see across the nation. Is that something that we might see here?
The challenge that we see here as it relates to people looking to get on the bench, to be a judge, is 20 years ago, the district attorney, which I am the chief assistant at the DA's office, the district attorney had much more discretion. The state is changing to where now judges have more and more discretion, both to lessen sentencing and also to eliminate charges. For example, prior strikes, judges can remove them. Usually violent felonies as a prior strike are used to enhance sentences, and I see more and more every day judges removing those enhancements, and ultimately it results in lesser sentencing for serious criminals.
So if that is an issue, what are some things that you're going to be able to do in your position?
Yeah, I think every judge would a candidate would come before you and say, look, people need access, they need fair treatment, they need the law equally applied. Of course that's true, there's no doubt about that. But uniquely, I have not always been in the prosecutor's office. I've seen the justice system from every angle. I've been a civil litigator, both for plaintiffs and defendants. I was a managing partner of a good-sized law firm here in Orange County for a few decades prior to going into public service. And, the justice system needs to be effective and equal, and make sure that the regular folks like your listeners feel welcome and not intimidated. But they also need to know, if they're a victim of a crime, that the judicial system is also going to treat them respectfully and not neglect that they too have rights.
Right.
And that's something that I'm concerned about. And I think that an efficient judicial officer really does not ever put the rights of criminal accused above the rights of their victims. The tone in our country seems to be that it's trending in a direction I wouldn't agree with.
Well, and you did allude to, being different than LA, and one thing I think we've always worried about is Orange County is going to be swallowed up by Los Angeles. I mean, we don't even have our own news station, right? So you look at that and you think, oh, well, we're going to follow in those footsteps, but we don't want to follow in those footsteps at all.
We do not. And I think our jury pool, credit to them. The County of Orange, thanks in large part to our office, the courts, were willing to follow along. The district attorney's office, that again, I am the chief assistant, which means I essentially run the day-to-day operation of the agency. When the courts nationwide closed down for COVID, between 2 years ago, roughly right now, so you're talking May of 2020 and Thanksgiving of that year, the Orange County court system in the criminal arena did 110 jury trials. That was more than any other jurisdiction in the United States, and most jurisdictions had done 0.
Wow.
So Orange County is very different, and it's different because your prosecutors kept showing up for work, and the judges worked with us. But the bigger part was the jurors kept showing up, and we didn't know how that was going to go for a while.
Right.
But thank goodness the jurors cared enough about their civic responsibility, and that the wheels of justice kept turning. And we were by far the most productive judicial system in the country during that closure.
Okay, well, excellent, excellent. So something interesting I think I had read is that it's really important to go down the ballot to vote for your judges. Is that because it's way down there or what?
Yeah, it may be more of a term of art, but yes, it is not the gubernatorial race, it's not Congress. The judicial races tend to be at the bottom of people's ballots. The most common thing I hear, look, I'm a normal person, I just happen to be a lawyer for my adult life. People don't know who these folks are that are running for these offices, and generally speaking, why would they? They're not litigators. Most people are not involved with lawyers a lot, let alone the judicial system, unless they're happen to be a court clerk or something. So it's important to get out. I really appreciate you having me because it matters. Your viewers need to know who these people are, where they come from, and what they intend to do. And I hope to gain their support, and I want to make sure that they feel that I'm somebody that is accessible, and they get a chance to hear from me.
Well, you have an awful lot of experience for the particular position that you're looking forward to. And one last thing you'd like to let our viewers know.
I just think it's important that people understand I spent a long career before I got into public service serving regular people. My experience with them was how they experienced the system. It's very intimidating, it's very expensive. That probably isn't going to change. I think a good judicial officer can help that. But I also think that maybe what advice I would give to people that when I was litigating cases, and I certainly intend to put into practice, is decisions need to be made in a timely fashion. Justice delayed is justice denied. People all want to win, but if you can't get a decision, that is its own sort of form of cruel, slow torture, is that people need the system to work efficiently. And I think sometimes the people in the system have blinders, don't realize how much impact delays make on the people just trying to find out, did I win or did I lose? And if so, what was the result?
Right, right. Well, fantastic. And if somebody wants to find out more about you, you have a specific website that they can go to.
I do.
NelsonJudge.com, and you have all your information there.
Yeah, and certainly in the voter guide, I put together a short statement largely repeating what was mentioned today. They can read in the county-provided Registrar of Voters voter guide. But I am a regular guy raising a family here in Orange County that worked really hard to have a successful law firm, and I gave my career up to serve the public. This would just be a nice culmination after 26 years of fighting at the front lines to just go and really give back to the citizens of our county.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for the information.
Thanks for having me.
And good luck to you.
I appreciate it.
All right. And don't forget that June 7th is the primary, so make sure you go to the bottom or the lower part of your ballot and look for Shawn Nelson. We'll be right back.